Ed said, my Wednesday drive home, then I get to replace my dryer. It's an exciting life. I'm so sorry, Ed. That's the worst. So, guys, it is me and Amaya and Shelton tonight. I got all my guys are like all over the country right now. They're just all over. So you're stuck with us.
Very exciting.
I know it is. Isn't this awesome?
Yeah, it's so awesome. Nothing else.
Hello, Joey. Les. Grant Tilly. Amaya was saying that you sounded like a country bumpkin when you saying, hey, y'all. I was like, that's kind of just how we talk.
You shouldn't expose me, Mom.
I did. Swiss Pastel is in Tampa, Florida.
Florida.
Not Kayla and Maya, Heather and Maya. But that's okay. I still love you.
I'm gonna start calling you Kayla.
You don't even call her Kayla. You call her AK.
I'm gonna start calling you AK.
Grant said because he is a country bumpkin. And there ain't nothing wrong with that.
I ain't got my glasses. I can't see.
Where's your glasses?
I left them at the house.
Oh, well. Christina, and not Christina Kinnan, but Christina Greenwell now.
Oh, yeah.
Name update and everything. Evening, John. Hello. Surviving the hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys gonna get much in Tampa? Like, I have no idea. I've been watching it, and I see it's gonna hit the Panhandle pretty good.
I don't watch the weather.
We were just looking at it before we came in here, and I think it was saying it was a category. Did we say 3 or 4, Shelton? That 4. They said it said it was a category 4, I think, which doesn't sound good. I thought y'all was only a Texas thing. Oh, no, dude.
It's everywhere.
That's the whole South. He said, sorry. That's okay. That's okay. Christina, yep, it is kind of a universal Southern thing, I believe. Let's see. Michael Taylor. Gay born living in the West Desert of Utah, land of long-range shooters. What?
What does that even mean?
Evening from Arizona. I know Joey and them, they're out west. Last time I looked, I think that they were in Wyoming, I think. Coming back from Idaho. Let's see. The west coast of Florida is going to get crazy. We're just getting rain and wind on the east coast. Yeah, I would not want to be there whenever that happens.
Honestly, I want to dance in the rain.
Yeah, but not a category 4 hurricane.
It just
don't
gives
want
it
to
an
dance
extra little spice.
Oh, okay.
Gotta add the spice. Alabama.
Let's see. Joseph, good evening from Gun Unfriendly, Colorado. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm so sorry. Grant Tilly, y'all is definitely an Alabama thing. I've heard it all my life. Yeah, like I said, I feel like it's probably just universal across the whole South, but I don't know. Hello, Casey. Paco from soon to be frozen North Dakota. Joey Stankhouse, you guys might get the remnants of it before it does. Yeah, like apparently Phil was posting pictures online showing that the eye is going to come up and pretty much go right over Paris, Tennessee. I know that in the past, whenever the hurricanes have kind of started coming up this way, the weather can get a little swirly. We can get, pretty high winds, and we've had a few like spin up tornadoes and stuff like that, but usually just a lot of rain. But sometimes we can get the rough wind and the spin ups, but it ain't too bad. Let me see. Y'all is universal, just like dude is not limited to California. Yeah, I say dude.
I don't say dude all that often.
They even say y'all in southern Indiana.
Southern Indiana.
Yeah. I feel like that's getting up north.
Yeah.
Yins is the north version of y'all. I've never heard that before.
No.
Granted, I don't go further than like Ohio and Indiana. The guys have went all the way up to PA, but I feel like it gets pretty anti 2A after Pennsylvania. So I have not really a huge desire to go any further than that. There is some cool stuff I would like to see, but not really worth the anti 2A crap that you have to deal with.
I know what none of that is.
That's okay.
No, I just went one ear out the other.
That's okay. All right, guys. What's everybody up to tonight? The workers at Texas Roadhouse say y'all here in Southern California. That's really, really funny. I just don't feel like that. It would feel really fake and put on, I feel like.
Yeah.
Pronounced Ewins, not Yins. My bad. Good evening, Kyle. You took fighting shotgun in Kuna, didn't you? I feel like you were out there, I think, if my memory serves correctly. I don't know if you live close. I know that obviously you live closer to the Kuna range than you do Camden, but I'm not sure how close, if it's close enough that you've already made it home. I said Joey and Tim, they had a 28-hour drive ahead of them. So that was rough, to say the least. I think they said that they're going to try to get within 12 hours of home tonight, and that would put them at driving for 16 hours straight today.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Silent, very silent.
I was born in Georgia and raised in Texas. Y'all is high society in Southern for sure. Yeah. Kyle, yeah, pistol and shotgun. It was an 8-hour drive home. I headed home right after the range yesterday. Yeah, I know, like, whenever the guys are traveling, if it's not too far of a drive, anything that can be done in a day, like 8 hours or less, they would probably go ahead and just leave and drive through. It's kind of funny because before we started doing this kind of work, 8 hours was like, oh, that's kind of a long drive. And now 8 hours is just like, that is easy. Like, you don't even blink at that. If it's less than 12 hours, that's considered an easy road trip. If it's less than 12 hours one way.
I love road trips.
Yeah.
They're fun. I like sitting in the back of the seat because I don't got to drive or anything.
Yeah,
So I
you
listen to
guys just
music.
kind of play on your phones, listen to music. You
Yeah.
have it so much better than we did whenever we were kids.
Man, I had last time we went on a road trip, I had a whole jam session to myself in the back.
Yeah, I know.
Like I kept Caleb awake too.
Yeah. And no, Joey and Tim do not kill each other. I feel like they actually, like, I don't know, they're both pretty easy to get along with, as long as Tim isn't flushing peanuts down the toilet and then clogging it and making everybody have to go to the main, like the foyer area, I guess, of the hotel. They don't love that.
He does that?
He did that and made everybody really upset because they didn't get to use the bathroom in their hotel room. They had to take the elevator and go to the first level floor, and they all had to use like the lobby bathroom.
No. I would have got
Yeah.
my own room after that.
Yeah. So that's funny. Kyle said that Joey and Tim killed it this weekend. Well, that's good to hear. I feel like they are a pretty good duo. Like I said, Tim likes to pick at him, and Joey, I don't know, he can dish it out just as well. So, Amaya, Casey has a question for you. Can you read it without your glasses?
Yeah, I can see that far. What is the best and worst thing about Dad being out of town for work? Well, the worst thing is having Mom go over my school because, you know, it just takes a long time. But then the best thing is I can go upstairs at like 11 and he's not playing the game, and I can get food and drinks without worrying about Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Yeah, whenever Joey's gone, I agree with Maya. The worst part is we homeschool. And so going over school solo after working all day, like usually we can divide and conquer. Whenever he's gone, we do it by myself. Or I say I do it by myself, and it takes forever. And they don't love that.
But it's just part of life.
Yeah, and he's not gone for too long. No.
The longest he's been gone is like a month or two.
Yeah, about a month.
Yeah.
Jonathan Webb, could you share some on-body carry tips for my wife? We have a Glock 26, 19, and Model 45, and she currently carries in her purse. So I just rock the Ulti Clip. I really like the Ulti Clip. I kind of go back and forth between that and the Enigma. I've been leaning a little bit more towards the Ulti Clip and using it a lot more lately. Just because for me it's more comfortable. And I can wear that with my leggings and pretty much anything I got going on. I did attend Brian and Christina's wedding this weekend, and I did have my gun in my purse and not on my person. I was wearing a fitted dress that like didn't really it wouldn't really jive with that very well, and women do care what they look like, but most of the time it's appendix with the Ulti Clip. Again, I used the Enigma for a little while, and while I like it because I feel like I can kind of mess more with like the angle, and so I feel like it conceals a little bit better than whenever I wear the Ulti Clip. It does feel like the grip kind of butts out a little bit more, and so I don't know about her, but it took a little bit for me to get over the fact that like, oh, people are going to be like, kind of like, what's that if it's kind of poking out more. I did not like the Enigma with how the straps kind of felt on me, because it has a strap that kind of goes all the way around, and I didn't love that. It kind of felt like I had to get it pretty tight for it to not move. And I didn't really love that. I know guns are supposed to be comforting, not comfortable, right, to have it on you, but out of the two, like I said, I prefer carrying with the Ulti Clip just for the comfortability factor. And my Ulti Clip, I carry the Shield. It's small, which is awesome, but I would like to get it for the 48. The Enigma is what I put my 48 in, and I much prefer shooting the 48 than I do the Shield. And I can carry a couple more rounds in the 48 too. So let's see, Willie Everett. Good evening, everyone. Christina, we had to try to read by the streetlights and hope our CD player didn't skip from potholes. Yeah. 90s road trips, Walkman, and Game Boy Color. Yeah, I still remember having a little Game Boy, and I thought it was so cool whenever they got the light that kind of came up and would shine on it, because if not, you had to try to really, get the street lights and angle it just right.
It's kind of old.
Yeah.
Never had that happen.
And I had my CD player. Like Christine said, you had to hope that it didn't skip whenever you hit the potholes.
Not me.
And Jonathan, something else too that she probably just needs to play around with it a little bit. And if you're not used to carrying a gun every day, it is a little, I guess it's kind of weird to get used to for a little bit, but once you get used to it and you do it for a while, it doesn't feel weird anymore. And so it might even help if she just kind of wears it around the house a little bit and kind of messes around with where she's carrying. As a woman, I prefer appendix because I have, my hips are the widest part on my body, and I want it to be at least somewhat concealed, and carrying on my hip, it is not at all. And so, like I said, I prefer that, and she might just need to mess around with it a little bit, get comfortable with it, and then kind of start branching out from there. Kyle said that it was my first class having Tim as an instructor. What? what? I feel like you've been taking classes with us for forever now. How was that your first time having Tim? How many times did he try to inappropriately touch you? Like, I'm kind of shocked. I didn't get a single email.
No.
Christina, what?
I was going to talk.
Okay, go for it.
Has Amaya taken any classes yet? I've taken one class. It was the all ladies class, and that's it. I have sat in on a medical class and role play for it, but that's the furthest I've gone and taken any classes, really.
And you also role play so you role play for medical a lot.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah. So, and you know how to put on tourniquets. She sat through a lot of the medical classes, but hasn't done the whole thing. And then we have pulled you out for a couple of scenarios here and there for the fight. Taken it yet, but again, you're supposed to take the fight before you can role play for the fight. But there's been a few times that we kind of wanted to have a kid in the scenario, and so we did pull Amaya. So there's one or two scenarios that she's been in a couple of times, but there's still plenty other ones that she has not, so she can get the full experience still.
I'm really good at role playing.
Yeah, she likes role playing. Why do you like role playing so much, Amaya?
So I can cuss at others and scream at them.
She likes getting to use inappropriate language and getting to yell at people and be crazy.
It's the best thing. Being crazy and screaming your head off is something you can only do when you're role playing.
Christina, I've been using my thigh holster for dresses, but I have to carry my smaller 380. The only thing I don't like is that it slides down sometimes. Other than that, I strong side with a regular holster. Yeah, again, I think it's just kind of whatever you're comfortable with and what works for you. We're shaped a little bit different. Me and my sister both have very wide hips, and so again, it protrudes a lot. She did amazing. Amaya she killed it in the all-girls class.
I love shooting. So.
Yeah. I think you were the youngest one in the class, too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was, older than me. The closest one to my age was, 19.
Yeah.
She was in high school, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Jay, hello.
1 second.
Hello, sir. Kyle, I've now had 7 classes with you guys, and what? Who's been your instructor the whole time? I know that I saw Joey was your instructor. And now Tim, was it Lewis or Brian that you had? That's so crazy. That blows my mind because I feel like most people are they get Tim or Jay first. Let's see, Higher X. Tim is such a good instructor, I almost considered tipping him after the class. We have actually had people tip the instructors. That is a thing that it doesn't happen often, but it does happen on occasion, and they like that.
Be nice to get tips.
Yeah. Let's see. What is an I don't even know how to say that. Eberl stock? It's a fanny pack when wearing sundresses and whatnot. Otherwise, any holster with ulti clips. Yeah, so I have a fanny pack, but I've actually loaned it to a friend who is wanting to, they were kind of messing with it. They work at a hospital, and they're in and out of there a lot, and they were kind of wanting to have a fanny pack whenever they were in and around Nashville, and so I was letting them use my Galco fanny pack. But I feel like I would actually like the fanny pack more than my purse, but that's what I had at the time. So Joey wants to know, why haven't you taken fighting pistol yet?
It's really about, why have I not taken it?
Yeah.
Well, you see.
So why haven't we taken it?
I get too nervous taking a class. I don't know. It's just, even though I've been around it for, most of my life, taking a class is still kind of nervous to me.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike Caleb, who's taking almost all of them, I get really nervous just thinking about taking a class. And it took a lot of courage to actually do the all women's class.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was more comfortable doing it because they're all women.
Yeah.
But yeah, whenever I get more courage, I was thinking about taking the fight or something.
Yeah. So most people would take fighting pistol
that's
first.
Fighting pistol. That's
But we've had people take the fight first too. Yeah. And then whenever they go to fighting pistol, they're like, it's really important that you move your feet. That part's like super important. Maya is a little bit more introverted than the other kids. And so she doesn't love large crowds. And so that's kind of one of those things that she gets a little nervous whenever she's around a bunch of people. So let's see. Grant Tilley, that he said he likes your honest answer about why you like role playing.
Honesty is key.
Yeah. Christina, it's a pain with protruding on my hips. Only reason I don't like appendix carry is that it pinches when I'm sitting. Yeah, like I totally I know that this is a primarily male audience, but they were asking, Jonathan was asking about stuff for women carrying. It does suck, like if you are on your menstrual cycle and you have a ton of bloating, and you do carry appendix, it kind of pushes into your stomach and makes it really, really not comfortable. And so it is something that you might have to change up or mess around with, because I know, at least for me, I have some pretty severe cramping to the point that like I can actually be sick from the pain. And so that is not fun, trying to carry appendix when that happens. Liberty Seeker, we are coming back in February for pistol rifle, coming from New York. Can't wait. That is awesome. And February is really hit or miss, so check the weather, because I feel like it's normally our coldest month, so you might want to throw some hot hands in there. Kyle said that Lewis and Brian were two of them, and that Joey taught your other four. Yeah.
Dad is a good teacher.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's improved a lot over the time.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like, I don't know, even whenever he teaches me stuff, like,
yeah.
I feel a lot of times whenever you're not really supposed to have your spouse teach you stuff, because you guys can tend to argue about it, and he's a really good teacher and has a lot of patience, and so that typically hasn't happened when he's taught me stuff, which I still try to pay people to teach me other stuff, though. Let's see. Jonathan Webb, I got Brian and Tim in my fighting pistol class. Both were great. That's awesome. Jay mentioned Gabe, is that Suarez, and was wondering if you have any insight into his classes. I personally do not. Earlier I saw that Jay was in the chat, and so he might be able to answer you on there. Let's see. What is the best tape to use for mounting a scope to a sniper rifle, and do you recommend Gorilla or 3M? So that's for Jay. He's in here somewhere, so hopefully he'll answer you, because I do not know that. Ed Cilio, good to Greenwell after Christina. Congratulations. Yes. It's still so new and exciting. Jay, tell us about when we were learning to drive. You're talking about whenever I would go to the gym with you so I could drive your Jeep and then go and take it and drive it around in the parking lot because my mom was too scared to teach me to drive, and James was on the road all the time. So it was my sister and Jay that pretty much taught me how to drive a car. So Christina, James did specifically say that fighting pistol could not ever be an all-women's class. We could do an all-women's pistol, but it cannot be fighting pistol. And so it's one of those things that you would not get the mindset lecture. We try to, I know it sucks and it's not super great to hear, but whenever you're out in the world, there's going to be men and women and all people. And so we want to have that in the class as well. And so, we have the intro to pistol class now, and we did do the all women's class once to try to get people's kind of dip their toes in, to try to get them comfortable enough to come and take the fighting pistol, right? So that way you can get the whole experience. Kevin says, hey, and that it is great to hear from a young one.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on here.
Yeah. I know they're not talking about me anymore. I'm getting old. That ain't me.
I'm getting older by the day, though.
Kyle said that his wife carries in a Vertex crossbody bag, and it's very slim. Very cool. I know, like, whenever I run, I still prefer to carry in, like, a fanny pack whenever I'm running. But I didn't test out the Enigma a whole lot whenever I was running. I think I took it for a walk once, but I did not go for a full-blown run with it. And I'm curious to see how that would feel. Again, like, it has those straps on it, and so if it was a really long run, I would kind of feel like it might try to rub me raw, but I don't know. Every time I have went for a run, though, I typically put it in a fanny pack. Let's see. Christina, it constantly pinches where my leg meets hips and makes my bra wire stab me. Joys of short torso. Yeah, you're pretty short. You're very short.
I'm almost taller than her. I think I am taller than her, actually.
Cat ass, thank you so much. Good evening.
Oh.
So you're in Kansas City. Very cool. Grant Tilley, that is correct. They don't have women-only gunfights. So
yeah,
that is very true. I would even argue that, you know, they are primarily done by men. Not saying that they're all done by men, but primarily. Let's see, Christina, that makes sense. It helped taking the rifle class with you and Elise. I want to do a couple more before I'm ready for fighting pistol. Yeah, and we're always here, man.
Yeah, I'll take it with you.
Yeah. You and Maya could take it together. And for some reason, even though Tim is so inappropriate sometimes, and he's like your pervy old uncle, the women absolutely love him. And so we even make him your instructor.
Yep.
I know, what is it? Kayla said that he has like that serial killer energy, serial killer vibes, where it's like, don't you want to get in the trunk? And you're like, absolutely.
Yes, I will. Oh.
Cat ass. Look, Christina said she's down for that.
Yep.
So you gotta get ready. You
Next
gotta
year.
get ready.
Next year, I'll have the courage to do that.
Well, she already has her Glock 48, a holster, and then John Willis said he'll make you a belt.
Yeah, I gotta get into that. I gotta do that.
He already made Caleb his belt.
Yeah.
And he said that as soon as you're ready, you and Bane both go, and you're both gonna get a belt from John Willis too.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I should get ready.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Everybody loves Tim.
Yep.
That's true, but we have had a couple of people that have sent strongly worded emails. That, I mean, they're few and far between. I think I can remember 2 in the whole time I've been here, but it's always really, really funny whenever it happens. And to be fair, those emails, they should have known well before they came. Like, on our website, we say there's going to be inappropriate language. So they should already be prepared. So that's kind of on them. Tanner Foley, he got that Paducah Riz. Yeah. Dude, I still have not got to meet his dog.
Mom, don't worry about it. I can bribe Tim into bringing the dog here.
I know, he does. He loves Amaya way more than he loves anybody else up here. If somebody could do it, it would be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just ask for it whenever he goes to get me new drinks. I'll be like, I see your new dog.
You know what? And I bet it would work.
It
You
will.
would be.
It will
Yeah.
work. It will.
Imagine being so weak that words hurt you. Yeah, no, it was kind of crazy. What was it? I think the term that was used was it masturbatory gestures? Was that it, Shelton? Yeah. Because Tim does a whole lot of like, you know, and he'll be like that. And then they were complaining that he did that a lot. And I was just like, oh, that's...
And then when they had the meaning about him doing it, he did it, saying like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. It was just really funny. And I think, who was it? Who was here whenever that happened? And they were just like, I never thought that this was going to be a meeting that we'd have to have at work and talk about this. Because I think like, Marilyn had to read it.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
All dogs are angels.
I don't know. I did a podcast with Dakota, by the way. That'll be coming out soon over dog training. And after hearing that, a couple of them dogs were not angels.
Well, they weren't raised right, Mom.
I don't know. The way he talked, it was kind of genetics.
All animals are angels. Then it's the people's fault for breeding them like that.
You know what? That's fair. It is. You're right. It is the
I'm
people's
right.
fault. You're right.
It's nature, Mom.
Christina, but the deans have to join us. Who are the deans? Jay said he did too during the meeting. That's really funny. Good evening, John Crewer. How are you? Cat ass. Dogs are cool, but they're not as cool as cats. Cats win because they don't talk to the police. That's funny. Uh-oh. Hey, Shelton. Our chat was disconnected. Guys. They might not be saying anything.
You're still live. I don't know why the chat disconnected.
I don't know, but let's argue about this, because James said that he was never as disappointed as he was whenever Kayla and I, at first it was whenever Kayla got a cat. I didn't have a cat until I was like 29, I think. And then he was also disappointed in me too. But he said that was the most disappointed he had ever been, was whenever we got cats.
That's crazy, because I'm obsessed with cats.
I know, but he hated them.
I love cats so much.
I know. A cat ended up in the shop, and it ended up coming home with us because we went and tried to find the owners, and it did not work out. And I forgot who it was like, you should have a shop cat. And I'm like, dude, if James was buried, he'd be rolling in his grave. He hated cats. We could not have one live here.
No. We should get a shop dog.
Yeah.
Or a rat. Yeah, a rat. I always wanted a pet rat.
They're actually very smart. You can teach them tricks.
We should get a rat.
Yeah. I actually almost took one home because whenever I worked for John at SOE, he used to breed rats to feed to his snakes. And I had to go and take care of them and like change their water and feed them and different things like that. And I almost convinced him to let me take one home. Let's see. Cat ass. I have 3 cats. I'll send Amaya 2 if she wants them. No.
Whenever I move out.
We have 2, and it's plenty.
Yeah,
it's plenty.
I had to plead to Dad to let us keep the second one.
Yeah. I didn't grow up with cats, so it was very new to me. Christina, my cat thinks he's a dog. He sits on command, comes when called, brings you tennis balls if he wants to play fetch, and also does not claw, scratch, or bite. Yeah, that's a good cat, man.
Yeah.
I've met your cat, and it is a very good cat.
I haven't met it.
No, you haven't been to their house yet, have you?
No,
It's
I
a
haven't.
really good cat. It also likes to have forts built for it, and it'll sit in the fort all day. Higher X, has anybody brought a pet to class? Yes, we've had people bring dogs to the class. So far, like, we haven't had any real issues. Luther brings his Pippa, his French bulldog, whenever he comes. I don't think that Pippa went to the class, though. But she's at the shop every time that he comes. And I love Pippa. And we always get belly rubs whenever she comes. We give them out. He actually let me pet sit her once, and he left. And, you know, French bulldogs are pretty small. And I was on the computer, and I remember looking up, and she somehow had gotten onto, like, the big tables in the classroom and was just staring at me like she couldn't get down. And I was like, how does this even happen? You're so short.
Parkour.
John Crewer, Super Dave is the cat dude. He is. Whenever he recently had a surgery done on, I think it was his Achilles. And anyway, we were like, we need to send him a card to let him know that we love him so much. And instead of going and buying a card, we went onto the internet and found a cat in tactical gear. and made a card for him, and we made cat puns and sent it to him. And as far as I could tell, he thought it was really funny and he liked it. Mark Curtis, I have a rule about pets. If it has a butthole, it lives outside. What? No, see, my fuzzy pets, they live inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nami would not last outside.
No. So I am not a fan of keeping cats outside. I know that people do it, and if you do, like, no hate to you, but they actually are extremely disruptive to the environment because they are a predator and they will eat all of the things, and it's actually not super great. Tom, I don't think I'd put you down. I'm actually going to do it now, though, so I don't forget. So I might talk to the people.
What? Okay.
Say something to him while I get Tom on the roster.
I look forward to meeting Hercules. It's a funny name.
About Christina's cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool cat. Let me get it pulled up. Actually, it'll be faster if I just text Joey and tell him to do it. He's not driving. Okay. I got you.
Got you.
Yeah. I know, that's going to be a good class. I think Ak is going to come down and role play. There's a student that just moved here locally. Then he's going to role play. And so I think you make number 4. And so that's awesome. The more role players we have, honestly, the better the classes go. And it just is a better experience for the student. Yeah. And then we don't have to go and get shot, which is kind of cool.
I'm always up to role play.
Yeah. Okay. I blame Brian for how spoiled Hercules is now. He started that cat forts. If it's not good enough, he stomps on it and he demands a better one.
Sounds like a king.
He is spoiled rotten. I remember Brian telling me, he's like, don't tell them that I love this cat. I was just like, it's okay. Like, we love our cats too. Thanks, Joey.
Hey, Dad.
I didn't know you were in the chat. I just texted you. It is done. I appreciate you. Jay, the guys have left Cuna. I looked earlier and they were in Wyoming on their way back home, but I wouldn't doubt it if they were in Nebraska at this point. I could be wrong. I make Joey, whenever he goes on the road, I want to make sure he's not dead. So I have his location whenever he's traveling and I get to check it. Also, because if he comes in the house at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I know that it is him. Let's see. Good evening. Is that Carlos?
I think. I mean, that's
yeah.
Looks like how you say it.
We got Jay and Lewis are going to be in PA. And Jay, I think Lexo is supposed to be texting you and Lewis as well. Mike's going to be up there. He's our host. We're going to be in Sugarloaf this year, which is pretty cool. It's a new location. But we actually have a really good-sized class up in PA. I'm pretty excited about it. I think there's like 23 students in Pistol, which is awesome. And a lot of first-time students. Joey, they are in Nebraska, going to stop for the night in Lincoln. Very cool. And Tim said he wants to do metal detecting at the range. But he knows, like, it'll, like, with all the stuff on the ground, it'll probably ding a lot. Mom and I went out there some. But there is, like, a old homestead place, like, where there's, like, a chimney and... I'm pretty sure at the very front, whenever we first get there, you can find yuccas on the range property. And typically, yuccas were planted around a lot of the homestead locations like that back in the day. And so I feel like there might have been some kind of a building at the front of the property, too, since there's yuccas in the woods up there. He could try there, too. But no, I'm down. And he shouldn't have Mom go. Mom would love that. Jay, Tim is giving directions. We may never see him again.
Good luck.
No, Tim's driving and Joey is giving directions. At least I hope so. All right, all right. Just please don't say y'all with Kamala's fake Southern accent. No. I saw that. It was pretty bad. No, these are authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, you were born
Yeah,
and
I'm
raised in
kidding.
Tennessee.
No, I was actually raised in Virginia.
You lived in Virginia for 2 years.
It felt longer than that.
It was not. Christina, after the wedding, I'm fully convinced we just need to get the little cousins together and say there is a grand prize for whoever picks up the most brass / casings. Yeah.
I would have already been gone, so I'm cool with that.
I think, Dakota here in Camden, he's the guy I said, a lot of you guys probably know him, Dakota Lobato. He owns the Better Built Dogs. He does dog training. He actually just bought a bunch of bees, and he went and put bees on the range. And so we should be getting honey soon. And whenever they're out there taking care of the bees, he actually is going to have his kids. Apparently that's something that he thinks that they'll really enjoy. He was like, oh, dude, they would love that, getting to go and pick up brass and collect them in buckets. And I was like, okay, go for it. And so they're actually going to go and start picking up brass whenever they check on the bees to help take some of that off of us, which is awesome because it is super tedious and time consuming. I know, it is exciting. We're going to have honey. And he put it far enough away that hopefully whenever I go to get on my tractor, they don't get mad and swarm me.
You should put like walls and a roof on your tractor. Like homemade ones.
Oh, no, I don't think that's a good idea. I kind of need to be able to see.
I mean, just buy the stuff at the store.
Some people do have like roofs on it, though, to keep the sun off of you, which would
Yeah.
be really nice because it gets really hot.
You should put one on there and then put a fan in there.
Yeah. Some people have them enclosed and they have fans and stuff in them, which I feel like is really, really nice. Mine is not. It is open. And on a 90+ degree day, whenever the tractor is doing its thing, it gets really, really hot.
We should get you one of the things we got Dad for Father's Day.
Mm-hmm. We should. You're right. Joey, Tim is doing all the driving because he didn't do any actual work the past 4 days. I don't believe that. Is he listening to you? Is he listening to this? Does he know that you're talking smack over there?
I don't know. I don't know if he could hear.
I don't know. Christina, I was handed some by multiple kids throughout the night. Yeah, the kids I feel like tend to love that. The only thing though is I will say that recently, I say recently, it was within the last year, Lewis went and actually had his lead levels tested, and they were actually high. And so that's something that I've started taking a lot more seriously since he went and had that done, is the lead exposure at the range, and picking up brass in particular. And so either I have us wear gloves, we make sure that we are washing our hands really thoroughly. But I've even heard people going as far as like changing their clothes and stuff, and like putting stuff on their seats. But I had not taken lead exposure at the range seriously at all up until very recently. Like I would wash my hands after I was done, you know what I mean? Before I would eat whenever I came home. But if I didn't eat for a while, like it didn't get washed for a while whenever I was done. But now I'm like, no, we need to wash our hands like as soon as we can and try not to touch our face. And I'm trying to be a lot more just adamant about keeping the lead away from my face. Tribble said some of them have AC for the real rhinestone cowboys. Dude, let me tell you, I would not be upset if my tractor had AC. Because, like I said, it gets, like, this year, We were in a drought, so honestly, I didn't have to bush hog as much as normal on the range, but I do 99% of the range maintenance out there on the tractor, and it was fucking hot, dude. Like, it got up to around 100 degrees, and being in the sun with it that hot, and then the heat from the tractor is also emanating off of that and making it even warmer. It fucking sucks, especially whenever I'm out there for 6 hours. It gets rough. It gets rough quick. A cab tractor with AC will spoil you. I've been in one bush hogging easements at town for the last month or so. Dude, I bet. Well, and the thing is I actually enjoy bush hogging. I like getting on my tractor and doing the work out there, especially the Ear Pro that I have because the tractor is so loud. It has Bluetooth in it, and so I just turn on either music or a podcast, and I thoroughly enjoy it, which I like being outside. Even whenever it's hot, I would much prefer that to being inside, even on the hot days. The last dude to put walls on a tractor got it stuck in a basement. Joey, he is. I have it playing on the truck. He knows I carried him during class, so he owes me. I said, I don't know if I believe that. Let's see. You wouldn't get any work done at the shop if the tractor had AC. You'd just be out at the range tearing stuff up all the time. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. Like I said, I really enjoy doing work on the tractor, either bush hogging or putting the box blade on, and I'll take the bucket, and I've been trying to fill up the potholes and stuff, and I don't know why. I really like it a lot. Like I said, I prefer working outside to inside though, and so I try to get out there every chance I can. Grant, and when I'm bush hogging at work in the cab tractor is when I try to get caught up on my podcast. Yeah. Do you James always was like, something that he was super adamant about with me was trying to protect my hearing. I guess because his was so poor from like gunfire, because he went overseas and did contract work. He was a police officer, and it was just something that he was around all the time. And I know, like, he had tinnitus. Joey's already started to get tinnitus, and so he's always been really adamant about my hearing. And so, like, going to concerts, he's like, hey, Heather, make sure that you got, foamy earbuds to put in. And if I'm on the tractor, he's like, hey, make sure that, you're wearing the ear protection. And do you wear Ear Pro whenever you do that because it's so loud? Like, even whenever I went hunting, he was like, hey, because I told him, I was like, all the hunters I went out with, none of them had Ear Pro. Like, is that normal? And he's like, yeah, I don't get it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to wear mine, because if I pull that trigger, like, it's going to get really, really loud. And I would rather not deal with that.
I remember shooting a gun, and my Ear Pro was dead. My ears started ringing right after.
Well, even if the Ear Pro's dead, it still muffs.
Yeah, it was muffed because also I had my hair down.
Oh, you had your hair down.
Yeah.
So your
Yeah, I didn't put it
hair,
up.
yeah. So it didn't let it get the seal on your ear. Yeah, that's not good.
Well, my ears are fine though.
Yeah. Well, luckily I haven't had anything like that happen, but I did go to a really, really loud rave whenever I was young, and whenever I left the rave, none of us could hear each other talking because our hearing was so messed up. Everything was so loud for so long that whenever we left and we tried to talk to each other, there was no sound. We had to actually like scream to hear each other if we wanted to communicate or like write it down. Yeah. Let's see. With as loud as race cars are and as long as I've been around them, I called the tinnitus hotel. The phone just kept ringing though. That's funny. I know. I feel really bad for you guys that have it, because I know Joey, like at night whenever he's trying to sleep, we typically have like white noise and stuff playing now because the ringing can kind of get a bit annoying. Carlos, do I have a favorite long gun? I have not really done a lot of shooting with long guns. Everything I've done has mostly been with pistols. In the last year or so, I started messing around with shotguns a little bit more. But otherwise, no. I do know I've went through and I've got to kind of shoot AKs and ARs, and I really like my AK a lot. I know that everybody's going to be like, how do you not know this stuff? But James would just give us stuff, and we were kind of spoiled in the fact of, like, he would just be like, here, take this. And you'd be like, what is that? And he's like, don't ask questions, just fucking take it. And you're like, okay. And so you take it. But I know it's a Krinkov AK, and I love it so much, and it is my baby. That's probably my favorite gun I own, and I feel like it's the coolest gun that I own. Grant Tilly, it's not as loud inside the cab, but if I'm on a mower or open tractor, I use Ear Pro. I run chainsaws a lot too, and have noticed my hearing isn't what it used to be, so I wear Ear Pro. Yeah, as I get older, I'm definitely, like, I went to a concert recently, and I forgot my earbuds. It was kind of on a whim that me and my friends wanted to go, and once I got there, I was like, shit, I forgot those. Luckily, it wasn't that bad whenever we went to leave, but it's definitely something that, like, my old age is showing because I have them with me every time now. Tribble says he even wears earplugs in his Jeep whenever he's driving on the highway. Oh my God. Joey said Tim didn't know what a rave was, and when I explained it, he said like a disco bar. It is not like a disco bar at all.
You should bring Tim to a rave.
I don't know. I don't know what Tim would do at a rave. I think he might be like, I don't know if he could keep up.
Have him at the bag just standing there.
Yeah. Yeah, Joey, my AK-74 is my favorite. Thank you. Well, that's what I was like. I know it's a Krinkov, right? And James, I actually have I think it's kind of a cool story. Whenever I was in probably my early 20s, he took me out to the range. And I hadn't really shot very many rifles at this point because I wasn't really into guns until I had my first child. And then I was like, okay, like this is actually pretty important. And so I started taking my self-defense much more serious, and I started getting into guns a lot more and training. And so he was like, hey, like you're going to need a rifle. And I was like, all right, well, I don't know which one. And he was like, well, we'll take care of it. And so he took me to the range, and he laid out all these different rifles, and he's like, okay, you're going to kind of mess around and shoot each of them and see which one you like the most. And so it was probably like maybe 12 different rifles that he let me shoot of his. And the AK-74, I was like, that one. And he was like, of course it's that one. And then he let me leave with it, and it was mine.
I just shoot what I'm handed.
That's how I was growing up. You shoot what you're handed. Kyle, Joey, I was looking at my shotgun when I got home. It looks like my action bars are slightly bent, probably why it was having some issues. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Grant Tilly, hearing loss is cumulative, and I don't want to be deaf, so I've been a lot more cautious about it, right? Like, I kind of like hearing, you know? To me, it's like, hey, it's a good thing to have. Because then you can hear the bump in the night if it happens. So you can hear if people are going up behind you. It's kind of important. Joey Glover, he probably said, what is that? Discotheque? Good evening, Chuck. It's nice of you to join us. I've been around enough race cars and loud stuff over the years. My hearing is starting to suffer. Yeah, so like, I don't know. I know a lot of you guys know this, but James wasn't my biological dad, but he was my dad. My actual biological dad was into race cars and stuff. So whenever I did go over there, it wasn't super frequent, but whenever we did, we were at the racetrack a lot growing up. But luckily, they were smart enough that whenever we were up close to the race cars, we did have earmuffs on. But we didn't always wear them. Joey, remind me whenever you guys get back, I'm going to have to show Tim what a rave actually is. Because it is definitely not a disco bar, and I think it's really, really funny that he thinks that. I'm like, he's so old. Christina, yeah, I have a Ear Pro that just stays in my car now. I feel like I should have a range bag that just kind of stays in there that has like Ear Pro, a staple gun, and like tape, just at all times. Just those things. Cat ass. Bristol is the only track I wear ear protection. It's stupid loud there. All of the other tracks I should, but I don't. Yeah, well, so my dad did drag racing on the drag strips, and so whenever we were in, they would haul the cars in the trailers, and we would hang out in the trailers, and we wouldn't wear them there. But whenever we would come up close, it got pretty loud. Most of the places that we went were relatively small, and so we were pretty up close to the track. And I remember, like, you can feel the rumbling like in your chest. And that was kind of nice because they had a mattress and like a loft in the trailer, and I would crawl up there, and the vibrations from all the race cars would actually help put me to sleep whenever I was little. The tinnitus drowns out the other voices in my head. Joey Sinkhouse, raves are basically our generation's version of a disco party, but I'm not sure which is crazier from the stories I've heard about the 70s. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my parents weren't into disco, so I didn't hear much about that, but I know that, like, the raves, we had to be very careful because people were really dumb. Like, there was some horror stories of people having to go to the ambulance because people would put drugs in their waters when they weren't looking. And so we had to be really careful whenever we went. Tim said he can't go to a rave because he has diabetes.
That just ain't true.
What does diabetes have to do with
Right.
the rave?
Has nothing to do with rave. He's making excuses. For
Yeah. I'm not saying that he has to go to a rave. I'm saying that we can show him like a video. Or maybe, yeah, I was about to say picture, but video.
We'll create our own rave.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bite everybody in town.
I know at, Bonnaroo, they have like a silent one because everybody wears headphones and then they're all like dancing
seen
and doing
that.
the stuff. Yeah.
I want to go to one of those.
So like you don't hear it, but then you walk in and everybody's dancing because it's in their headphones, and they all look really silly.
That was me when I was dancing in the rain the other day.
Yeah. Let's see. Grant Tilley, is that track at Bristol down in a hole like the drag strip is? Christina, I have seen your car. You are very prepared. That's actually fair, Tribble. Just show him the opening scene from Blade. Yeah. Went to a rave in Bosnia. It was in a bombed out train station. That actually sounds really cool, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Our raves were in Nashville, and I know one of them was outside, just in a really big fenced in area. And then the other one was was it Rocketown, Shelton, that hosted the raves?
I don't remember where. I think it was Rocketown.
Yeah, I think it was. They're not open anymore though, I don't think.
All of those places.
And like, was the other one the Muse, I think?
This is a good one.
Yeah. Grant Tilley. Catass, I've got a buddy that used to be a crew chief in NHRA, and he always said I needed to go to Bristol. He said it was his favorite track. I don't know much about NASCAR and all that, but I've actually heard I have heard good things about Bristol. Obviously, Catass will know more than I do, though. Catass, I didn't know that you had a YouTube channel. So Cadass said that he just posted a video of him driving out of Bristol on his YouTube channel, and it is his favorite one to drive in and out of. Is that because Bristol is, that's like really close to Virginia and Tennessee where all that meets, if I'm thinking right? Is that because it's like in the mountains that you like that so much, or is there a different reason? Christina, sealed thermos you never put down. What do you mean? Oh, for the rave. Okay, I see what you're saying. My brain went back to car. Yeah. No, like if I'm at a rave or a big event like that, which I'm old now. I'm 32. I haven't been to a rave since I was like 20. Lid is on drink, and drink stays with me. Because I don't want to end up in no ambulance. Yeah, Grant, I did not know that there was a Cadass channel either. I'm going to have to check it out. What is the name of your channel? Is it Cadass? Christina Greenwell, I want to go back to Bonnaroo. I loved Imagine Festival in Georgia too. I've never been to any kind of music festival or anything like that. I had a friend back in the day, though, that would work Bonnaroo every year. It is the official Cadass. That's awesome. I'll have to go and check it out whenever we're done, because I had no idea. Oh, shit. I just glanced at my phone, and it's 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Guys, it is about time that we wrap up. That went by so fast. Well, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And, of course, this is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah.
Stay dangerous.